Hamas is dressed like women, shooting at the IDF, while those who live in a virtual reality make an avatar of Hamas that looks like something came from space. And we tell them, no, this is not how Hamas people look like. You know, they're a bunch of savages hiding among women and children. They are cowards. If they had the courage, they would have an honorable fight by coming out of the populated areas and facing the IDF outside of the populated areas. So there was a fantasy at some point, you know, in my childhood. Seeing Hamas is just very similar to the fantasy of many of those who believe that there is such thing as freedom fighters. They're hanging their hopes on Robin Hoods. Robin Hoods want to steal from the rich to feed the poor. But true, generous people give from their own need, out of their need, to share their loaf of bread with their neighbors, to sustain their neighbors, to show love, to show compassion. And this is how society can grow and thrive. Not by the thugs who want to function thinking that Israel is a developed country, and if they believe if they conquer Tel Aviv, then they can divide the property among the Palestinians. This is the attitude and the approach of thugs and thieves that can lead the population to a dead end, to total destruction. And this is exactly what happened in Gaza. So people can have their own fantasy about what Hamas is. The end of the day, their truth, they are deluded, they are psychopaths, they are dangerous people, they committed a capital crime, they are rapists, they are killers, they are dark people, they don't have concern to anybody who opposes them. They don't believe in equal rights. They don't believe in coexistence with anybody who opposes them. They cancel half of the society. They don't believe in women's rights. They oppress women. They are violent towards women. And what is a society without women? You already canceled half the society. And if they have been abusing the children, then that's it. All you have is just a savage society that is left. Oppress the women, abuse the children, and control the future of every individual in that society. This is Hamas. So now, the people who portray Hamas as those lean-looking, solid fighters fighting on behalf of the poor, they are lying to themselves. They are following shadows. And when they meet their heroes at some point, and I hope they do, in the other life, because when I met Hamas in prison, even though Hamas was my privilege, I was disgusted by Hamas nature. And again, with every act Hamas did, whether if it's against the Arabs or the Jews, Hamas proved to be a savage movement. So now, those who want to follow a fantasy that does not exist, sooner or later, they will meet their heroes. Then when they meet their heroes, they're going to realize that they just met the devil. The laws of the universe are the laws of cause and effect. And Hamas, for 36 years, they built momentum with the intention to annihilate the state of Israel. And they kept building this momentum. And the climax of it was October 7th. So Israel had no choice but to retaliate. And Israel has no choice but to remove Hamas from power. So what's happening in Gaza is justice. And the people of Gaza who voted for Hamas, who still hide hostages in their houses, who still who don't provide Israel with the location of the hostages, are complicit in this crime. The people of Gaza, the vast majority of Palestinians agreed on evil. They still agree on evil by the name of resistance and fighting the occupation. It's a false claim. It's an unjust or unjust cause. It's a lie that keeps the victim in the cycle of victimhood. And they like it because it pays. And what I say in this situation, that Israel had no choice but to manage a very dirty war where terrorists hijacked their own children and used them as human shields, sacrificed them on a purpose for political and financial gain, sacrificed many civilians to delegitimize Israel. They are using civilians, if there is such thing, as a weapon, because in Gaza you don't know actually who is the civilian and who's not. So for Israel, was it Israel required to actually suffer October 7 genocide, then send foot soldiers in the thousands into a Hamas trap so they can kill tens of thousands of Israeli soldiers in their sophisticated death trap beneath the Gaza city and all over the Gaza Strip? I don't think this would be fair to ask any democracy in the face of a mega terrorist event like October 7. Any other country, and that includes the United States, would have wiped out Gaza Strip off the map just hours after such an attack. Israel did everything within their ability, and I am a witness, and God is a witness. And all those with intelligence are witnessing that Israel did everything within their ability to minimize the civilian casualties, while Hamas did everything within ability to maximize the civilian casualty for political gain, to delegitimize Israel. And they succeeded to a certain degree. So now you ask me if it's right or wrong. It depends. And the people, if I had to go with the opinion of the majority that what's happening is wrong, then this means let's leave Hamas in power, let them build their power again, and invade the rest of civilization and kill everybody in it. Women and children, let them rape and let them get away with their crime every time they commit it. Because the majority now agree that ceasefire now without a Hamas solution. So it's not up to the sense of right and wrong. And so many righteous people out there, human rights activists, pro-Palestine fanatics, even feminists, name it. All the opposite extremes coming together to protest on behalf of Palestine. And they think that they have the higher moral ground. And I say, you don't. You've never been there. So this is not an issue of morality. Okay, I said this from the early beginning of this war. This is not a matter of right or wrong. This is now handled based on the laws of cause and effect. These are the universal laws of the universe. Nobody is above this. The human laws and what's so-called international law is non-existential. It's created by the superpowers to the inferior, and the inferior must obey. You can call them more the rules of the game, not international law. This international law is not a Bible. It's so all those who want to hide behind international law and tell Israel what's supposed to do, what's supposed not to do, sitting on the sidewalk while Israel in the swamp, they don't have the right, and they don't have the higher moral ground. They don't. So this is handled according the laws of the desert. Whether you want to accept it or not, or your audience want to accept it or not, and I said this from the beginning, what Hamas committed is a capital crime. They cannot get away with it. It requires a capital punishment, not according to international law, not according to American law, not according even the Israeli law. They started a situation that we don't know how it's going to end. It could end with a regional war. It could end with a global war, World War III. It doesn't matter what it takes. We cannot accept to be ruled by savages. Not Israel, not myself, not anybody in the free world. Hamas, as a religious extreme movement, called for the annihilation of human race, the destruction of a democracy, that includes a diverse society of Muslims, Arabs, Jews, Druze, name it, make them into a terrorist organization. But I wish that they stopped at that level. I wish that they stopped at the level of killing civilians. The IRA did that. Other terrorist groups did that. Bin Laden did that. But to take it to the level of beheading babies, kidnapping infants, raping women, wiping out 20 peaceful farming communities on October 7th, killing every form of life, burning trees, demolishing houses, killing farmers of as foreigners, Thai workers working in the farming field, beheading them with axes in front of the cameras and filming that and praising Allah as they did, turning peaceful communities into a blood bath, going into a concert and raping teenagers and kidnapping people. This what defines savagery. This is way beyond terrorist attack. And this is all documented by Hamas themselves. So all those who are in denial and want to justify Hamas barbaric attacks, they are complicit in Hamas crime. There is not much to say about Hamas. I can repeat it again and again and again. Growing up, they were my heroes. As I got to know them in prison, I saw their brutality. I did not want to take part of their business. I fought against them. But later on, they showed a picture of a savage group protected by a savage society, and now they are protected by a savage global movement that, in fact, they find pleasure in Hamas atrocities and in Hamas evil practices. So this is what we are dealing with. It's not only Hamas. It's who's behind them, who's giving them the cover, who's validating their work. And we are talking about a generation of dangerous people, a generation of new Nazis that must be stopped.